Hey everybody. Everybody likes something new. We like new stuff. You get new clothes. Judaism recognizes that. You get a new garment and it excites you. You say She'achiyanu v'kiyamanu v'yigiyanu l'zman. You say a bracha, you say a blessing on it. We like new stuff. Ads all over the place. They talk about new things. I not long ago got new glasses. Cars, they'll tweak every year. They can't just keep the exact same thing. They always gotta change it up a little bit. Some of these changes can be quite irritating. When I'm driving along, back in the day when I was driving my Saab and I needed to adjust the air conditioner, no problem. I could just drive and I know where the knob is and just turn the knob and take my eyes off the road. But now with my new car, my Volvo, I gotta take my eyes off the road, look at the screen and hit the air conditioner guy. And then they have the degrees there, touch that, and then hit the X. Hopefully I don't crash. Or lane change, that vibration. I turn that off all the time. I know how to drive. I can stay in my lane. So some new stuff is really irritating, but generally, new things we like. It excites us. It gives us a lift. And like I said, they're always changing and making tweaks to cars to make sure it's fresh and new. So why do I talk about this? Because it appears in this week's Parsha, and there's an idea that I want to share with you that I got from a dear friend, Rabbi Steve Bars, and I'm saying this Devar Torah for his refuah shlema, because he needs a very, very serious assistance from the Almighty and us that he get better. So please daven for Shlomo Asher ben Adina. And he points out that in this week's Parsha, which starts off, Re'eh Anochi noten lifnechem, Hashem, Moshe says to the Jewish people, I am giving you lifnechem hayom, today, bracha uklala, blessing and curse. I'm presenting before you hayom, today, blessing and curse. And Rabbi Bars tells us that the Chassam Sofer, a 19th century Hungarian rabbi, questions the need for the term this day, today. He explains that whenever the Torah uses the term this day, it requires us to consider the mitzvot as though they were new and fresh, as if you heard of them for the very first time this day. Therefore, the verse implies that bracha, blessing, comes only when we observe the mitzvot with the appreciation of their freshness and newness. That's what Rabbi Bars quotes the Chassam Sofer. That's why it says Hayom, that we need to look at the mitzvot, at our Torah, with a sense of novelty. It's fresh, it's new, hayom. It's as if it was given today for the first time. Now this is interesting because on the other hand, King Solomon tells us there's nothing new under the sun. Everything is just kind of like a rehash. It's all been here before. Whenever someone says this is new, he tells us, nah, it's an old idea. Biggest proof of this? The democratic socialists, that they're coming up with this wonderful new idea that's going to help America. Nah, socialism, communism, it's been tried, it doesn't work. So there's nothing new under the sun on the one hand, but on the other hand, the Torah is telling us, look at the mitzvot as if they're new. It's a balancing act like anything. Because on the one hand, the Torah is thousands of years old, and it's been given for thousands. We read this parsha every week for thousands of years. Wonderful, fantastic. But on the other hand, it gets boring and stale if we don't get new insights. That one of the most important ideas when studying Torah and approaching Judaism, and anything in life for that matter, is chidush, novelty, something new, something that you never appreciated, an angle that you never looked at before. And let's face it, the Torah is infinite. It's given to us by an infinite God, and so therefore it has infinite layers. And therefore a person should not look at any part of the Torah and say, I read that last year. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Yeah, move on, whatever. No. There's always something. As you change, it changes. And so therefore always look for the chidush, for the novelty. This was one of the greatest strengths of Rabbi Bars and my Rebbe, Rabbi Noah Weinberg, because he always looked at the Torah from the perspective of Torat Chaim. It's the Torah of life. It's living. It's not some old, dead document. That it has an application to the here and to the now. It has to be practical. Rav Noach's Torah was never airy-fairy and Kabbalistic and way out there. It was always about, how does it improve my life now? And so that's the balancing act. We have an ancient Torah. We have something for thousands of years. But the message that it gives us, our attitude must be, and if we have this attitude, we'll see those chidushim, these novel, new things that will make a difference in our lives. And so, on the one hand, it's very old. On the other hand, we have to look at it hayom, as if this were the very first time we were looking at it, not taking it for granted, looking at it with a fresh perspective from a different angle. And if we do that, as the Torah testifies at the beginning of the Parsha, bracha, blessing, will only follow. Steve Bar, Shlomo Asher Ben Adina should have a refuah shlema. Hashem should send him a full and speedy recovery. Have a good Shabbat.